The purpose of dhyan is to take us to an expanded, infinite state where we realize our infinite nature. Infinity is absolute and zero is absolute. In between, there is clash, there is friction, there is suffering. Whether you become infinite or you become shunya, it's the same thing. Only shunya can become purna. Whether you call it shunya or purna, it all depends where you come from. If you're giving up the ego, your limitations, and you're still in the background, you have memory of it, the finiteness. If you feel that you dropped something and you have nothing left, all the things that you were attached to, people, object, situation, you go into shunya. And on the other side, if your journey is more focused towards the experience, the energy, the liveliness, the joy of the expanded state, then you call it infinite. Either way, you have reached the ocean of bliss. In the world, there are rivers and there are oceans. Imagine the existence of a river. It is limited by its banks. A river can be defined. A river has identifications, its own unique nature, each river. But at least its fate is certain, that it will merge into the ocean, where it will lose its own identification, but receive a new identification of expanded state of universal consciousness. So sooner or later, a river will make it to the ocean. Rivers are trying to drop their identifications, but they are still there. Rivers are worshipped for their characteristics, what they offer to the people. It may be easy for the river to stay there and not move and keep receiving, but it does move on because its ultimate goal is the ocean. Same way, sadhaks on the path of spirituality, they are trying. They have identifications. They do have egos, but at least in their mind, in their heart, the ocean is waiting to be discovered. Ultimately, all rivers merge with ocean. All rivers give up what they were receiving from the sansar. All rivers give up their individual identities and get a new form of identity merging with the ocean. We all have oceans within us. We just have to understand it, find it, and ocean is always there. We don't have to find it, we just have to discover it. It's not a new invention, but it's a discovery, something that has been flowing forever. So rivers give up their identifications, all the praises that they were getting. But now the infinite becomes its nature. And in that state enjoys the freedom. No more binding by the shores, no more identifications by the shore. Ocean is something that accepts everything. Oceans have no conditions. Who can come into the ocean and who cannot? If the river is dirty or clean, it's a roaring river or a small stream, it doesn't matter. Ocean is ready to absorb everybody. Ocean is where all your conditions drop and you accept everyone unconditionally. Oceans don't fight with the rivers. Oceans accepts every single river in the world. The only unfortunate body of water can be a pond whose borders are circled. They are closed. They are not flowing. They don't have openness. Their egos are totally shut off, not able to see an expanded future for themselves. They start smelling. People shy away. They close their noses if they pass by the ponds, which are totally closed and they're smelling. It's better to be a river than a pond. Don't lock yourself in a small, self-identified word when you have a chance to meet the ocean. Existence of a pond is pathetic. It remains identified with its own border. It finds comfort in these closed borders. Never venture out. Of its own existence. And in exchange, it receives bad odors. That becomes its nature. The bad odor is what everybody walks away from. River at least shows the tendency, efforts, and emotion geared towards merging with ocean. The personalities of the ponds, rivers, and oceans are totally different. If you go deep into the sadhana and go to the expanded state of infiniteness, it has to translate into your actions. If you end up with arguments and still forgive the person, and if he or she comes to you and says sorry or apologize, there should not be any remorse, not even the state of forgiveness, because now you are an ocean. You have chosen to be an ocean. You accept the apologies and merge again. It was the choice of a river to hold itself back and not merge with you. And now it has decided to merge again with you. It's the river's choice. Meanwhile, you will always remain in the expanded state of infinity, enjoying the bliss, enjoying the Almighty Presence, enjoying the shunyata, which cannot be disturbed by actions of an individual river. Or the ponds. Ponds may be able to boast its existence because of the close borders. It may be proud of its own borders. It may be looking for security within the borders. Ultimately, loses the contact with the world, because world avoids it. So it's your choice whether you want to be a pond or a river or an ocean. The whole idea is to drop the identifications with your possessions, your friends, your relatives. None of these things are going to be with you forever. To realize the flimsiness of this, to be proud of those things are identifications. Feeling security in having these possessions is the ego. And then there is another subtle fixation with your knowledge that binds you. Knowledge is received from outside. It's not yours. The only knowledge which can be yours is to find your infinite nature. That's the true knowledge, because you discovered it. But to walk around with this knowledge, words, ideas, beliefs. These are also things you can get attached to. And that's even more difficult to remove. Until you remove all these things, the expanded state of spiritual ocean that's flowing within you does not reveal itself. It will remain elusive for the rest of your life and more lives maybe, until you become thoughtless and enjoy this thoughtless existence. The spiritual journey is going to be a waste. So keep your minds open, flow freely, show the energy of river, show the enthusiasm of the river. Even though people worship you, keep that on the side until you merge with the ocean and you drop all your identifications with the body, the mind, everything, the knowledge, beliefs, ideas. It's your choice. Have a good day.